Yes, and now, coming to you live from the Leo Pope Studios here in Henderson, Nevada. Yeah, when someone say Las Vegas. No, I live in Henderson, okay? This is all the bacon and eggs.
Are we starting?
Hey, are we or are we not?
I don't know. It's up to us.
It's up to us, exactly. This is your whatever you think of or whatever we think of podcast. I am MMB along with
J-Gag.
All right. So, yeah, we might have to work on that name, but he is along with me for the ride, and we are going to have a fantastic voyage, if you will. All right, so.
How long is this supposed to be?
Does it matter?
I don't know. I just wanted to give the listeners, probably us, when we're listening back, an idea of how long they have to sit through this.
So, basically, what we're going to do until we get, and I'm going to keep all this in here, we're just going to talk it out. Until we get like a live feed, I'll take it, cut it up, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
So it's not going to be like I'm not going to be like overly produce this because I'm sitting here with Dr. Dre style for it to take 3 months to get one podcast out. I can't do that.
Yeah.
So basically, just slap on an intro, outro. Maybe cut something out in between. It all depends. But I'm trying to keep it authentic and real and natural as possible because you can always tell when terrible jump cuts happen. So,
but, I think we should leave those jump cuts in, though. See, that's the noise.
That's the noise.
You said you turned your phone off.
That's not my phone.
What is it?
You know what that is. We're on a computer here. And I'm not really good at all this stuff, so...
You're not good at podcasts?
I'm not good. No, not at all. So notifications come through on the computer, and of course, I never notice it until I'm doing something important where I don't need to have notifications.
Cue jump cut.
We're keeping this in, so you can just see how terrible I am. The world will know. It's like, oh gosh, like this guy has no clue how to do this.
MMB at it again.
Yeah. And so we are going to put a little bit, hopefully, fun and enjoyment into your life. Have you settled on a date of when we're going to be doing this and when we're going to be releasing it? Any of that yet?
That's totally up to you. Because you're the one that has to, behind the scenes, jimmy it around and make it sound pretty.
I am the wizard.
So it's up to you, man.
I like that. Okay. Well, we will figure that out. I will get something and we can do it. We will either weekly, monthly. What are we doing?
Bi-weekly?
Bi-weekly?
What's every third week? Tri-weekly?
Tri-weekly. How about every bicentennial? How about that? That's just... that seems more likely.
All right, coming to you 10 years later, 25 years later, you'll be like, hey, everybody. Actually, we'd be like, hey, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. At that point.
Dude, because in 10 years, I'm going to be, I'm feeling it now.
Okay, now you're feeling it. Come on now. This is ridiculous.
In 10 years, when you're 25.
Oh, wow. If that was true, this would be awesome.
Okay. This actually works into what I had written in my notes as a first segment of our show of all time. Okay. And it's kind of about getting old and experiencing things that I've never really experienced before.
Okay.
And two of those things are there are massive nose hairs growing out of my nose and giant hairs growing off of my ears. And I don't know what to do. I don't. You're a little bit older than I am. I don't know if you've experienced this or what you can do, what advice you can give to the listeners once they reach a certain age and this starts happening, because it is scaring my wife. I'm already hairy, man, and now there's just stuff shooting out of everywhere, and except for my head.
Okay, so yeah, it's very similar. Now the nose hair just sprung up out of nowhere. out of nowhere for me. And I was just like, what is that? And I'm always checking my nose and feeling like it's something there. I'm like, that's just hair.
Yeah.
Like, how did this happen? When did that happen?
Why is it growing so fast?
And it grows so fast.
Yeah.
So I really, once I figured it out, I went and got one of those little nose hair trimmers.
So you have like an actual machine.
I actually
that
have a
you
little
stick up in
device
your...
that I stick up in my nose, Total
Okay.
Recall style.
Yeah.
And I get all the excess long hairs, and it's like 5 o'clock shadow. It's back.
And like Total Recall, you're like a new person afterwards. What I've just gotten, what I've gotten used to doing is every time I shave my face, I actually push my nose one way or the other so the hairs kind of come out more. And I before they're popping out of my nose, I get to them and I get my electric shaver and I just dig in there.
Get up in there.
I don't actually. I didn't buy one of those fancy schmancy things that digs up there. And
if I recall, I think I spent no more than $15 for that little tool. And I'm not saying it's the end all be all, but it will help, and it does help if you just get up in there and take care of it. Now, as far as the ears go, no clue, because I have not had that yet,
You haven't
and
had that?
I knock on this cheap wood that I got from this little desk here, but I have not experienced the ear here yet.
Well, I'd like to dive into just a racial topic right off.
Okay.
Is that just a black thing then? I mean, because as a white guy, that's what you see. You see white people with eyebrows that are growing up onto their head. You see the ears, getting bigger and the hair coming out of them, and the nose is just coming down. It's just crazy for white people. I've never seen a black person look like that.
I have. It's not just for one particular race. I don't know exactly what it is that causes all of that hair. Certain people to be extremely hairy, certain people not to be hairy at all. But I've seen it. Like, I've seen black people, Palestinian people. I've seen Hispanic people.
Asian people? I don't think Asian people would.
I have seen a hairy Asian person before.
Really?
Yes. Yes. Yes, I have.
It sounds like that was one thing that's like ingrained in your mind. You're like,
Yes.
what?
It was. It was just like it's like it's like when you're doing something and you come across, you're like, wait a minute, does that seem right? I don't recall seeing that. So when I was younger, I'm much evolved now, I'm much more mature. But when I was younger, I used to talk about people. I used to say certain things, and I would always have a quick little joke or name for somebody, and I do recall coming up with a name. I don't recall the name, so you have to forgive me. But I was like, that's odd, but yeah, hair and all that good stuff. I don't know why. I have what we call Shrek shoulders.
Okay.
Or what I call them Shrek shoulders, because they're just just hairy.
Okay.
And just like, something you see on an ogre.
Yeah,
So,
I'm with you. I'm like that too. Yeah.
So
I have hair growing in all the wrong places.
all of them.
If there's anybody that is even listening, much less a doctor of hair, that can write us or call us and let us know why the hair grows at such an incredible rate as you get older out of your nose, eyebrows, and ears, rather than the top of our heads, because both of us are very challenged up top. And I just want to know why the hair has gradually gone off of my head and into my nose or out my ears. It just seems like it's just bottling up right there.
Now, when we're talking about the growth, and what about the nails? Because they're all connected.
Okay.
So do your nails grow really long? Because mine do.
They grow fast, yeah.
They grow really fast. Fingernails, toenails, it's all bad.
It's crazy. I have to cut them like once a week. I'm like, what am I doing?
Exactly.
My wife's like, you just cut your nails, dude. What are you doing? And I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
I have no clue. And but anyway.
It still scares me, actually, to cut my nails. I still get scared that I'm going to go too close. And one thing that here's a tip for the listeners, okay, is that I have, and I'll admit this, I'm very personal. MMB might not be as personal, but I have had my battles with like cold sores, and I've noticed that after I had stopped biting my fingernails, I stopped getting them as much. So I stopped about 5 years ago. Haven't really had a cold sore for a long time, which I know is gross to talk about, but this is like a life hack. So if you bite your nails and you're getting cold sores, just stop and you'll see them go away. So with that said, once I stopped biting my nails, I didn't really realize how close I was getting. And holding that cutting tool to my fingers and cutting them and chopping them down, you don't really cut yours, I see. But for me, I can't grow them like that, and I can't pull off that look.
I do. I cut them.
You just
last
cut them
week.
yesterday. They're like, for those of you who can't see, his nails are pretty long. I mean, if he painted those and put some pretty polish on there, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah, I mean, I'm full Howard Hughes in it over here. So just whatever. But
that's a weird first segment that we we jumped right in, man.
yeah, you have to. I mean, and I think that it's fun to kind of get some background and some personality behind us.
Yeah.
And what we're about and what you can expect going forward in this. Yeah.
So now all the ladies know is that I'm married.
Yeah.
I get cold sores and I'm very hairy.
Yeah. And I have something called Shrek shoulders with long fingernails that can be painted. So there you go. Look
It's
at
like
that.
it's like that Family Guy episode where Meg's superpowers were to grow her fingernails.
Yeah. Yes. It is that.
They all
It
had
is
cool
that.
superpowers except for
her.
Yes.
With the, I mean, it was hilarious. Yeah, that is correct. So,
Oh my goodness.
and we would go back and forth to this topic, and it's fine. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But the one of the next things something that was on my mind, and I don't know why, but I do know why. So we had this whole Antonio Brown thing, right?
Oh yeah.
So I'm a Raiders fan. Not going to. It is what it is. Been a Raiders fan since they were in Los Angeles, where I was born and raised, on the playground where I spent most of my days. But anyway, so yeah, that was a Fresh Prince reference that I adapted to my life. Yeah, how about that, Will Smith? Anyway, so I just think that. I don't think that he ever intended on playing for the Raiders at all.
Oh, no way. It sounds like he and the Patriots had this whole thing concocted behind the scenes to go to the Raiders because if you remember, the Steelers wouldn't trade him to the Patriots.
Nope.
No. And so this was his way of getting over to the Patriots, and it worked. And honestly, it makes me mad because I'm a Dolphins fan. And now we have to deal with him. We have to deal with us tanking, which is a totally different subject. But yeah. I'm on board with it. But yeah, you could see kind of the whole thing playing out.
Okay.
And him working his way. I don't know I honestly have no idea if they were in on it together. But if they were, it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, I mean it sounds like collusion. They really pulled the wool over everybody's eyes. I don't know how, and it just you think about it. You think about okay, you did some kind of treatment before training camp, and you didn't wear the proper foot apparel that you needed to do this, and now your feet are all messed up.
It's not like they would let him into that chamber without the right footwear. I don't know how does it happen?
Exactly. Then the helmet. I can't play with this helmet. I gotta. And you don't practice. Because of all this is going on, I don't have the right helmet and my feet. Okay, that's two things. All right, then, okay, you're not out there practicing. You're not playing with your teammates. You're not, establishing that bond or that chemistry on the field that you need. So, it's a business. We have to find you, and then you get all mad.
Yeah.
And you get all mad, and you're yelling, and you blah 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 blah. Okay, that's three things.
Yeah.
All right. And if we're going baseball, 3 strikes you're out, obviously. But this is life.
He's Antonio Brown. He gets more strikes than 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So then you're on recording your coach basically kiss your ass, and you post that.
Yeah.
Which, come on, man.
And you didn't even dive into that. He had posted what the general manager had sent him in that letter as well, because he had taken that letter.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't know
and
that.
he had posted the letter that he had received about the fines, kind of betraying the general manager, and I forget his name for some reason.
Mike Mayock.
Mike Mayock, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so it was a whole slew of just honestly, that was, if you had to write a movie, a perfect script for how to get out of Oakland. There it is again. So if we can write a script for how to shut off the noises for your computer, maybe we'll get Antonio Brown to do that too.
Maybe we can get Antonio Brown's people so we can figure that out. But no, it I mean, to me, it was just after all was said and done, maybe not even an hour, or was it 2 hours that he was on the Patriots?
Yeah.
And it's like, something is wrong here.
Yeah. And now, we don't have to dive into the stuff that just came out because we don't have all the details.
No,
that's a whole different thing that now the Patriots have to deal with as well. So honestly, as a Raiders fan, man, I would be ecstatic that he's not on your team anymore. You don't have to deal with that headache. You can kind of come together as an actual team rather than one person plus 51 other players.
Yeah.
Obviously as a Dolphins fan, now I'm a little upset because we have to play him. We just played him today. He scored a touchdown.
Yep.
Had I don't know, 4 or 5 catches or something, and the Dolphins lost 47-0, which is totally cool because we're tanking for Tua this year. We don't care. We want to lose all the games.
But why would you tank for an unproven commodity?
Because we have Ryan Fitzpatrick and Josh Rosen as our quarterbacks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Josh Rosen, I am a UCLA Bruins fan.
Okay.
Anyway,
something.
It's not like I'm not like say fandom. It's just, but I like the Bruins.
You follow them here and there,
here and there,
okay.
yeah, loosely because I when I was a kid I wanted to go to UCLA.
Okay.
And but I didn't. I ended up going to UNLV, so I am also a UNLV Rebels fan.
Yeah, me too. It's too bad.
Yeah,
I mean, not the school's fine, but
the sports
team, yeah.
Sports in general right now is not the best. I don't keep up with any of the other ancillary sports. No disrespect, but
none of those count.
Football, basketball. Those are the two, and they're not doing great.
Exactly.
Basketball is what brought them up to prominence, and it's just been terrible ever since.
We've had Randall Cunningham, and that's it.
Pretty much. And Kenny Mayne from Sports Center for some, So, but I liked Josh Rosen when he played for the Bruins. I thought that he was a really good quarterback because I was able to watch a few of his games.
Okay.
And I saw him I forgot who they played, but they came back, and he looked in control, and blah 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 blah, all the things that you want in a quarterback. Mm-hmm. But it's a different level.
Yeah.
And you really just can't judge these young men off of the competition that they're getting at, because you're not playing pro level every week. It's
I mean, he did play last year for the Cardinals. That's not saying much. If you throw him in with the Dolphins right now, he's just going to get murdered. I hope he gets a shot somewhere. But for me and most of the Dolphins fans that I see out there, it is tank for Tua. Honestly, comparing both of their college, careers, Tua's, I think, one of the better quarterbacks that I've seen in a while. So I'd much rather have somebody who has proven it at Alabama, who worked with Nick Saban, as much as Dolphins fans don't like him, and has played tough competition week in and week out, or every other week, depending on who you're playing. But as far as Rosen goes, he had a shot last year. He didn't light it up.
He did not.
I would like to see him get a shot. Maybe throw him in with the Dolphins, but they're going to lose every game by 50 this year, man.
But you have to draft these players. Mm-hmm. For the right system.
Yeah.
And we've seen it that not every piece fits in certain systems. It takes a lot to be successful in the NFL. You can't depend on the raw talent.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, and I can't tell you from a Dolphins point of view if our system's going to work, because the GM basically just said, you have a free year to our coach. It's his first year. You could do whatever you want, because he knows that he wants to lose. And we have not only can we get Tua, but we have a bunch of other picks as well in the first round, second round, third round that I think will help us not only next year but the years to come.
So if you're tanking, I mean, I've never heard the term tanking until it was like it's in basketball. Usually associated with basketball.
Yeah, exactly.
Not really associated with the NFL.
Yeah, no.
To my knowledge, But I just don't know. I don't know why you would tank for one player that might and disrupt your whole your reputation, your team, and because people aren't. If you have a fan base, they're not going to come see this. They know what's going on.
They're not coming. Yeah.
Yeah, you're tanking. So just forfeit the whole season.
I mean, basically, it's this is the reason. Since I've been born, the Dolphins have been extremely terrible, or just 8 wins every year for the last 35 years. We had Dan Marino for a while, one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Since he's left, we've had no one. We've had like 19 different quarterbacks. And I think when you have a chance, even if it's a gamble, to get somebody of Tua's, to get somebody like Tua, you take that chance. And if that means throwing away the whole season, because listen, whether we played as hard as we wanted to, we were only going to win 6 or 7 games this year, anyways. It wasn't going to get us anything but a middle round draft pick. So I say, throw the whole season away. Tell the fan base, screw you until next year. And honestly, if the whole fan base hates us this year, we come back next year and we're decent, they'll come back. They'll come back. If they see Tua playing well, they'll all have his jersey and come back. They're not going to sit there and say, oh, they screwed us over last year. Everybody in Miami, everybody who's a Dolphins fan, is totally on board with this.
Yeah, they'll come back. It's like there's anything else to do in Miami but watch Dolphin games. I mean, yeah. They'll come back.
It's not like you're going to a Marlins game.
Yeah, they'll all come back. Don't worry about it. They won't get involved in anything like in South Beach or the Heat or whatever. Just come back. Whatever.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade's gone now. Who cares about the Heat?
but seriously, it's like, you have. As I struggle with these headphones because I do not like them. But anyway,
they look good on you though.
I know everything looks good on me, but it's a curse. It's a gift and a curse. So. I just think that if you have a player, an unknown player to your system or to your league, is it worth it to do all of this for that one player? Unless they're behind the scenes and they're putting in other things, and I don't know. I'm not in the inner workings of the Dolphins, and you're a fan, and of course they don't divulge this kind of stuff.
I'm a Dolph fan.
Yeah, that part would be cut.
I think it is worth it, man. I do think it is because you look at what Cleveland did years and years ago when they kind of just were throwing away, their season to get LeBron. And this guy isn't going to be on LeBron James's, level. But this is, I think, a once in a generation type player that the Dolphins have a chance to get and really just turn everything around because they've been terrible for a long time. And I'm tired of them being 9-7 or 8-8 or 6-8, 9. My math is off. I'm just tired of them just being mediocre to bad every single year. And look, honestly, Tom Brady's probably going to play until he's 50. So we have a few more years, but I do think that we could start challenging if we get Tua and draft, around him next year because all the guys are jumping ship right now.
So the rebuild process is not. So you get this one player, then you have to build around him.
Correct.
So that's going to take another year's draft pick.
But don't you think they'll at that point once you get Tua, you can say, you can attract some more free agents. Some people that are on the cusp, like, those guys stink. I'm not going to go. They're not coming there for Josh Rosen.
So look, if you have Tua, right? You tank for Tua. You got him. He's in your system. You don't have anybody else but Tua.
Yeah.
So Tua goes out there and lays an egg because there's nobody else but him.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah. So who's going to want to come play with that?
We'll be in the same situation we've always been.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You build some pieces, and then you add this player that puts you over the top. Like, okay, they're not. The offense is not is horrendous.
Okay, from a Raiders point of view, though, like because you guys seem to be kind of stuck in this mold where it's just mediocre. You had. When was the last time you guys won anything meaningful? Was it Rich Gannon? I mean,
Rich
Gannon in the snow against the Patriots that you guys the fumble or whatever that they called on Tom Brady that wasn't a fumble. I mean, I know you guys didn't win that game, but that's the last kind of meaningful.
No, because we went to the Super Bowl after that.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, so 2005 then.
We went to the Super Bowl, and that was when Gruden was traded to the Buccaneers.
Okay.
And we played the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl, and
he beat you.
And because it was his team last year. It wasn't like they made significant changes.
So they've kind of been in the same boat as the Dolphins. I mean, you wouldn't do something drastic to try to just change your fortunes around for the next year? Because this year I'm watching the Raiders, and they're not going to do anything, man. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings, but
no, I'm not hurting my feelings. They no, you're right, and I think that it takes the ownership, the office, GM, the GM and all that stuff, whatever they're going to do, talent scouts, blah, 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 to get the system. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the Patriots are doing because they don't have any named people or talent on defense. I mean, like, I'm saying marquee stars. I mean, they obviously have talent. Mm-hmm. But there's not like these people that are consistently talked about or all over SportsCenter. It's just they're playing for the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really. You have people like Edelman and Amendola, people who just weren't doing much, and then the Patriots just kind of molded them into their own kind of creation. And so they take people. They've had Randy Moss and they've had Gronkowski, but they take people who are kind of unknowns and make them stars. Whereas why can they do that and the Dolphins can't?
But what I'm saying is that I'm just talking about the defensive side.
Okay.
The offense, it's two different things. So you talk about defense, and the offense. They have Tom Brady, they had Gronkowski, they had all those other players. Tom Brady is the key.
Okay.
How, I don't know, but he's Tom Brady. What can you say? he make things happen. He's had, the only time he couldn't was when he was going against Tom Coughlin and Eli Manning and the Giants. So
it's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Beat the Patriots twice.
Yes.
So I don't know. The Raiders were making some strides, and they were building up. Mm-hmm. Right when we had Jack Del Rio as the coach.
Ooh, good-looking guy.
Jack Del Rio.
Great name, too.
Jack Del Rio was a great name.
Yeah.
That you could see that in a movie, like some kind of, Bond-esque type character.
Jack Del Rio.
Jack Del Rio. But he was built. He was getting an identity. Defense first. We had Khalil Mack.
Mm-hmm. That's right. You did.
Yeah. We had Khalil Mack, and it looks like we were making some really good progress. Because to me, as a former, player of football, we had. You have to have an identity.
Yeah.
And I think defense always wins championships, and I think the defense is the most important. So that's what we were doing, and that's what we were building. But then you get, that Rio doesn't really work with the young talent that we had in quarterback.
Okay.
I don't know if he was there with them, but was he the best one to bring him to the 100% of his ability? Probably not, because he never really had an offense of mind like that.
Yeah.
From his time, where did he play? Where was he at? The
Jacksonville,
Jaguars.
Yeah.
So, not something that they wanted. The ownership, maybe the GMs. I think it's 2 GMs that they have.
And you have that bowl cut owner.
Yeah, Mark Davis. Okay. Anyway, I'm just gonna get depressed.
Who flies into the same barber and gets his hair cut for a certain amount of price for like the last 50 years or something.
Yeah,
That's amazing. Honestly, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Now,
that's good.
As a Raiders fan though, like when Gruden came in, you were probably pretty excited. You know,
No.
you weren't excited at all.
No.
We're okay. So we're Raider Nation. Were they excited?
Yes and no. Yes and no, because to me, when you have, it's all about the evolution.
Okay.
And you got to have, you don't necessarily have to be like a whiz kid at offense and you like, I'm going to rewrite the game.
Yeah.
You don't need that, but you need to have evolved with the game and seen how it goes. And according to many people, John Gruden, not only was he a commentator and watching football all the time, but he was still doing camps and things like that. So he was still in the game, but he wasn't on a day-to-day coaching the game with multiple players. He was just kind of focused on, I think, a certain aspect of the game.
Okay. Because he's a little bit more old school, right?
He's a little bit more old school, and you want that to kind of, but you want to have a good blend. And I'm not sure about his coordinators. I don't really, know too much. I'm one of those fans that, okay, my team let me down, right?
Yes, I know that.
Many times, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere, but I'm not about to invest a whole bunch of time until I see significant improvement. Yeah. And so, but I'm going to watch the game. I definitely watched the first game. I'm going to watch the first game every time, or every time they're on, I'm going to try to watch them. I don't care where we are. And if they're winning, that's cool. If they're losing, it is what it is. But I'm going to watch them. That's my team. I'm not going anywhere.
So Gruden comes in, and you're already like, I don't know about this guy. And then he trades Khalil Mack. Mm-hmm. What's going through your mind at that point?
Well, I think that it was a thing about, I think it's business, like we talked about before. It's business. Khalil Mack is definitely a talented player, and he deserves the money that he wants.
Yeah.
And if you're not able to provide that, then you got to move on. You cannot just give this one player, when you have multiple areas to fill, all this money and not be able to get, fill those other gaps.
Yeah.
I think that was what the problem was. Again, I'm obviously not an officer. I'm just a fan, and a fan at that point who was like, "Oh, that kind of sucks." I think he was a good player. I think he was definitely, picking up, and I would have loved to see him mature and grow in the silver and black. But, it's not. I don't think that's anyone's fault in particular. It's just how it goes.
Now, dude, what do you give? Combine the Dolphins and combine the Raiders. What do you think their total win number will be for the year? Over or under like 7 combined?
Ooh, that's good.
For me, because I don't think the Dolphins are going to help you at all. I really do think they might lose every game. So you guys would have to win 6 or 7 games to get to that 7. So you'd have to get to that 8 if you want to go over.
I think they have a brutal schedule this year.
The Raiders?
The Raiders do. Brutal. And I'm hard pressed to say 7 games.
7 between the both of them?
Between the both of them.
That's okay.
Because it's I mean, don't get me wrong. I really like what they did against the Broncos, but it was the Broncos.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was Joe Flacco.
Yeah, Joe Flacco, and Joe Flacco at the end was really trying to make something happen and get out there. But regardless, they just got mollywopped by the Chiefs. So I'm not about to, and so did the Dolphins by the Patriots. So I'm like, I don't have too much faith in it right now. So
you said mollywopped?
Yeah. I'm really not about to. That would be tough. I'm going to.
So if somebody said, "Hey, you have to put money on this," would you take the
I'm
under
not taking
7?
the under.
Or you would say, okay, you would say, okay,
I would say 7.
You would say 7, but you would have to take the under at 6. So it's over or under 7. Would you go up to 8 or would you go down to 6?
No, it's 6.
6?
Yeah.
Between the both? That's probably a good bet, I think. I think that's a safer bet.
Yeah, I'm not a gambler. I've been out here 20 years. Don't really.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to gamble in stocks and property, which anyway. Next subject.
Yeah. should we just get into your whole portfolio?
No,
right now?
no.
All of your ownings.
No.
Is that the word, ownings? You can tell I don't. You can tell I don't do much of that. I buy at the wrong time.
Yeah, you're buying high, selling low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could write a book on what not to do. Yeah, exactly.
I just think that the Dolphins and the Raiders. More so, the Raiders. I'm more optimistic about that. Obviously, they're my team. Obviously,
Yeah.
So, and then I think that the talent is there. They need a couple key pieces, but one of their big pieces went down on defense, so he's out for the season.
And the other big piece just left for the Patriots.
No, he was never a piece. he was never there to be a piece to be considered.
When you heard that he was getting traded to the Raiders, were you excited or were you kind of like a little bit?
I'd rather have Le'Veon Bell.
Okay, gotcha.
I would rather have had Bell, but of course, a person with that amount of talent, of course, yeah. It's all about cool.
Yeah.
And what he could do with the offensive-minded coach, that would be amazing.
Yeah, because he just went to the Patriots this week and catching passes and scoring touchdowns, and you're like, oh my gosh.
But it's the Patriots.
It's of course, yeah. You're like, of course he's going to be doing that.
And I mean, I'm pretty sure, back then people were like, oh, it's the Packers.
Yeah.
Or whatever powerhouse team. Even though there wasn't a whole lot of free agent trading and all that stuff going on like it is now.
Yeah.
And of course, the money wasn't there either. But yeah, it's just right now it's the Patriots.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, Robert Kraft, all his whole organization. They're from. I don't even know is Bill Belichick the GM for the Patriots?
I don't think it matters. I think he even if he doesn't have that title, he's got to be, right. It's kind of like Jerry Jones is the GM. No matter who is a GM or the coach, he's going to do what he wants.
Jerry Jones.
Yeah, that's a whole that's for next time's topic.
Yeah, Jerry Jones. Full disclosure, it was when I was a kid when I first got into football. I don't remember exactly which Super Bowl it was, but I remember watching the Super Bowl with the Cowboys and the Buffalo Bills.
Okay. One of the Buffalo Bills losses.
One of the 4 in a row that they had. And I was a Cowboys fan because you're a kid. You're like, oh well,
Yeah.
So I had the Cowboys. I had a Cowboys really cool Cowboys jacket. I had a little helmet. And then, as I got a little bit older, I started playing the game of football in high school. I wanted to play. My coach told me, "Hey, you need to look at a player in college or in NFL, and that you wanted to emulate your game after, and see what he does and watch his technique." And I was a tackle, offensive tackle, at the time, and I was based off of Lincoln Kennedy. Lincoln Kennedy for the Oakland Raiders. He played tackle. He wore number 72, and that's who I decided to mold my game after. And after that, I just more and more I would watch the Raiders games, and then the Raiders were at the time they just either left LA or they were still in LA. I can't remember the exact time timeline. I think they left in I can't remember when they left in '96. I want to say.
Okay.
But so I switched from a Cowboys fan to an Oakland Raiders fan.
Because you picked that guy to watch.
And I was watching them more, and I just liked first of all, the Raiders are just cool. You know, when you start looking up more about the Raiders in the past, it's just a cool organization. Yes, they were vicious, and, you know, people didn't really like them because they felt like they were thugs. You know, the term thug being tossed around and all that, whatever, bullies.
Do you want to go into politics now?
No.
Okay.
No.
I thought that was transition.
Not right now. Not right now. Not right now. But during the course of all the bacon and eggs, you will get all the bacon and eggs. Okay?
The bacon and eggs.
So, but, you know, after that, I gave up the jacket. Somebody wanted that Cowboys jacket. I sold it. You know, hey, take it. I'm a Raiders fan now. And I've been a Raiders fan ever since. And I'm an extremely loyal person. And when I like something and I stick with it, and I stick with them, and I'm not a fair weather fan. And I'm not saying that, you know, the Raiders have done me wrong. It's the team.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do. I don't defend their honor. You'd say the Raiders suck. We're not fighting because are the Raiders going to come pay for my bail?
Probably not.
No. Are they going to pay for bills or anything? No, I don't think so. But that's my team.
Yeah.
You know, so and based off of, and it was all because of one player that sparked that, Lincoln Kennedy.
Very cool. Yeah. Obviously, I was born in Florida, so we didn't have much else going on. And that's, you know, watching Dan Marino, you do get sucked in because he was just so phenomenal.
Yes.
Man, but he just really sucked us in, and unfortunately, there's nobody around him to help him out. And couldn't win, and that's one of the things that I'm sure he regrets, not winning a Super Bowl, obviously. But for us Dolphins fans, that's one of the things that always gets left out. Like, he gets left out of the conversation for greatest quarterback overall all the time. Now, if you're talking about greatest passer, you know, you could throw him in there, but
with Vinny Testaverde?
Yeah. But if you're talking about greatest overall quarterback, you know, he gets lost in the shuffle because he never won. And that's one of the most depressing things you'll ever talk about to a Dolphins fan is him not winning. And for us, now we're just used to it. And that's why I said throw the whole season away. We don't care. Yeah. We're used to it. We've won, you know, nothing in the last 35 years. So
what's the point?
We're good. The only thing that we hang our heads on is going undefeated in 72. That's all Dolphins fans have, and that's all Dolphins fans will shove in your face every single time. And that's why when the Giants beat the Patriots, when they were undefeated, we were the biggest Giants fans. I'm still like, Eli Manning's one of my favorite players of all time, and David Tyree, because they made it work, man. And those stupid Patriots were going to go undefeated and ruin everything the Dolphins ever had. But nope, Don Shula and Larry Zonka and all those guys can drink their can drink their champagne and be happy because that's what they have, you know, and that's all we have.
Yeah, Larry Zonka just passed away, right?
Boy, I don't know. Did he?
I think so.
Are you sure? Did you just kill somebody?
No, I didn't. Okay. All right. Now I got to find out.
Yeah, because
I don't want to have that out there and be like, oh yeah, you know,
it's CZ.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll fill while you're typing, but
yeah, I mean it's
when you ask somebody to fill, it's the hardest part.
It is the worst part.
Did he die?
It is. So well, first of all, you have to go to the CS.
It's CS?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm a terrible Dolphin fan.
No, he did not die.
Okay. So I don't know what's worse, me not knowing how to spell his name or you killing him.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Very true. But the fact of the matter is there's no research being done. There is no format sheet in front of us right now. We are just two friends talking.
Yeah.
And that's what this is, kind of what it is at this moment. And it will evolve into something a little bit different, but still, yeah. So Larry Zonka's alive and well. I think I just saw him on an episode of Ballers last season, so I should have known.
Wow,
better.
do you stay up to date with Ballers?
Oh yeah.
I've never watched it, but listening to the radio show that you and I both really enjoy,
Yeah.
that's all the commercials you hear.
Yeah.
And so I didn't even know The Rock was in this show and so I'm like, man, what is The Rock doing? This is crazy. How does he go from filming like 10 movies a year to filming a TV show and just how many times does he wrestle still, or does he just show up sometimes? Or like,
I'm gonna tell you something. This is one of the. Okay, so this can be kind of more of a background on me, I guess. I don't know, because I'm going to be going into these long-winded stories of my that go into my development. So you sit there, children. Okay,
everybody shut up.
Back,
stop what you're doing.
Sit back and listen. So The Rock. Dwayne Johnson, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, whatever.
Yeah.
He went in. He was, of course, a wrestler. Became one of the top wrestlers.
Yeah.
As he was still wrestling, he started doing a couple movies, and then he just went full bore into acting.
Okay.
But now he's been an action star. If you've ever seen the movie The Rundown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With Sean William Scott.
That's who it was.
Rosario Dawson. Arnold Schwarzenegger makes a cameo in the beginning.
Yeah.
And he lets him know the good luck. Kind of not a passing of the torch, but kind of sort of at the same time.
Yeah,
giving him the rub.
I didn't look at it that way. I didn't look at it that way at all. But
why would Arnold Schwarzenegger be in the movie?
I don't know, man. That honestly wasn't that really good of a movie.
It's not, but it's a fun movie.
It's fun if you're just flipping through the channels and you're looking for something to watch. Yeah.
Okay, look. Now, is Commando the end-all, be-all of movies? But it's a fun movie.
Okay.
All right, you know what I mean? It's Arnold Schwarzenegger doing Arnold Schwarzenegger things.
Yeah, okay.
Ripping car doors off.
Yeah.
Killing people with neck snaps.
Neck snaps.
And the one-liners.
Yeah.
Yes, the one-liners. It is the best.
It is.
But.
So you think that was symbolic passing the torch?
Yeah.
Okay.
It has to be.
In the rundown.
There's no. Yes.
With
of
Sean William Scott.
Of all places. So I'm not a big fan of what The Rock's movies.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. I'm a huge fan of The Rock. His work ethic is ridiculous. He's the man.
Yeah.
All right? Love him. He's a good dude. Never met him before in my life. But,
But he's a good dude.
He's a good dude. So, but anyway, I think that him and his they did it right because they make their movies. They make them. They're not heady movies.
Yeah.
There's a lot of explosions or there's a lot of jokes.
Yes.
And some, a little action in between.
They're all of his movies seem to be perfectly made
Yeah.
for TV afterwards as well. Where you're just flipping through and you're like, oh, San Andreas, like I want to watch him fly a helicopter and save people,
Okay.
Jumping off the roof, or oh man, Jumanji's on, or the one that I just watched, Skyscraper, where he has one leg and he's jumping from building to building, barely hanging on by his belt. I mean, nothing. It doesn't get any better than that, right? I mean,
I've only seen one of those movies that you just mentioned.
Oh,
one.
There was one that just came out too, the Fast and the Furious one. I watched that one as well, and it was total garbage, but they did some excellent action shots.
Let me tell you something about the Fast and the Furious. I have seen one Fast and the Furious movie all the way through.
Really? What was that? Which one was that?
The best one.
Tokyo Drift?
Exactly.
I knew it.
Exactly.
I knew it. My least favorite one is your favorite one.
Of course.
That was the only one you've seen. How can
That's
you say
the only one I've seen.
You haven't
'Cause
seen
it
you haven't seen the first one?
No.
Okay, so in Tokyo Drift,
They have Bow Wow
Okay.
and they have the oldest son from Home Improvement. Boom. We're done. That's it. That's it. We're good.
who else is that where they introduce Ludacris? Am I getting this wrong? I forget my 90s rappers.
I don't think Ludacris is in there.
He's not in there?
I don't think so.
What's the other one then? I'd have to look it up
Yeah,
later.
it was not Ludacris, but they had the female lead in Tokyo Drift was amazing too. So I was like, all right, cool.
And Vin Diesel wasn't in that one, right?
At the end, he came in.
He came in.
He's like a little cameo at the end.
Paul Walker.
Walker. Yeah.
Was in that was like was that his like he was in that one?
No.
He wasn't in that one. Okay, so that's the one he wasn't in.
He wasn't
So
in
who
that
was the lead in that one?
Some dude.
Where's he been? Has he been in any other
I
ones?
have no clue. I've never seen the other ones. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So I'm dead serious. I have never watched any of those Fast and Furious movies because I thought I'm not. First of all, I'm not a big car guy.
Yeah, I'm not either. I watch it mainly just kind of the laugh at everything that's going on. You know, I'm not there sucked in like, oh man, this is awesome. This is the
Okay.
coolest thing. I'm there because it's just hilarious. Just the whole overblown thing of it.
So I will. Okay, so I have different, again, background about me.
Okay.
I do have different thoughts and things that pertain to certain moves that I am in.
Okay.
So and so the thing about me and what I might say today that might be different tomorrow, is not really. The Fast and Furious still sucks, but because I might talk about the Fast and Furious being sucky movies because of X, Y, and Z, but then I might like another movie because of
X,
the
Y, and
X,
Z.
Y, and Z.
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
Exactly.
Did you like Gone in 60 Seconds?
Just that one part where he's like, "Let's go." That was it. That was it. And I was like, "The movie's done. I'm over it."
I just like Angelina Jolie in Dreads. It's hilarious.
I forgot about Angelina Jolie.
That's right.
I forgot all about that.
And is it Nick Cage? Is that who it is? The lead?
Of course it's Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage has made probably the worst movies of all time, but they're all phenomenal to rewatch.
Oh man,
I mean, okay, my least favorite movie of all time is Wicker Man. And I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it is just the worst movie I've ever seen, dude. It's like, it's mind-blowingly dumb.
So I was watching something on YouTube.
Okay.
And they were talking about the Wicker Man.
Okay.
It's I'll plug it. I don't care. It's Cinema Sins.
Okay.
One of my favorite channels to watch on YouTube. And they were talking about the Wicker Man. I'm seriously about, I think it was like 3 or 4 days ago.
We're talking about like the movie or talking about like the actual like...
They were talking about the movie. So the Cinema Sins, they just go over movies and they, name sins about what they did. That's creating the movie.
Okay.
Anyway, so the ending scene with Nicolas Cage and the bees, and he's yelling, "Oh, not the bees, not the bees!"
Yes.
It is some of the best stuff I've ever seen.
By best, you mean worst, right?
Yes, it's awful. It's so bad, and I'm like, I mean, Nicolas Cage has. You're right. He's made some of the best stuff, and some of the worst movies ever. How do you have a career like that?
I don't know.
It's crazy, and he's not even that old. I could see that with an Al Pacino and a Robert De Niro,
A Samuel Jackson.
They have longevity.
Yeah.
They've made classics, and now hey, some of this, whatever.
Who cast him as Ghost Rider, man? I mean, who did that?
It wasn't bad.
Oh, dude, you could have cast
It
so
wasn't
many better
bad.
people, especially at the time.
It wasn't bad. Okay, all right.
I would have put Keanu Reeves right in there so fast.
Okay, all right. This is this is a part of the show. I'm just gonna throw you off guard. Look, no.
We have a
Lightning round.
We have a Nick Cage apologist.
Lightning round. No. Lightning round time.
All right.
Okay. Top 5 people that you would have put in Ghost Rider.
Oh my
That
gosh.
would have been better, and I will refute every last single one of them.
Keanu Reeves.
It's terrible.
Oh,
Why?
Have you
How?
seen him?
At that time, it was no way you can get Keanu Reeves to do Ghost Rider and make it believable because he was doing Neo, and it was not. No, and the last what was that Matrix movie? What was it? Matrix Revolution.
Was it Revolutions or Reloaded or something?
It was Revolution.
I don't know, dude. I can't remember. I just know that
It was terrible.
The second 2 I didn't like at all.
The Reload had some redeeming qualities about it. The third one, awful. But anyway, he was coming off of that. I think he already did Constantine. Nicolas Cage. First of all, Ghost Rider is a terrible movie. Okay, but we got Keanu Reeves, no good. Second one.
Kurt Russell.
Ooh. Kurt Russell's too old.
Really?
Kurt Russell is too old to play.
What year was this? This had to have been 15.
It was in the 2000s.
I mean, no, but 12 or 13 years ago, Kurt's still going strong, right?
Yeah, as an old man.
Okay, so not Kurt Russell.
Okay. Number 3.
All right, let me think. Hugh Jackman.
Nobody knew who Hugh Jackman was at the time.
But they cast him as Wolverine, and it worked out.
Yeah, that worked out. Okay, so I think that he was cast as Wolverine before Ghost Rider. So you really can't have that.
I'm trying to think back of who was a star back when Ghost Rider came out.
Exactly. So Ghost Rider came out. I'm going to look this up so we can.
Off the top of my head, I'm saying 2005 or 6.
Okay. So Ghost Rider. This is what I'm talking about. I love these
what if scenarios,
these movies, and talking about these type of films. It's amazing.
All right. So do you got Ghost Rider up there?
I have Ghost Rider, the comic book. I'm getting down to the
movie, yeah.
Okay, so the Ghost Rider cinematic universe is the film's 2007.
2007. Okay, I was close actually.
And then another one came out in 2012.
Wow.
Wow, exactly.
Are you serious? They came out that far apart?
Yeah.
Why? Just to make people forget about the first one? Is that what they're doing?
Yeah. And
it's 5 years, dude.
And it's something. So Ghost Rider and then Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance came out 2012, and in 2013 the film rights reverted back to Marvel Studios from Sony, which I wish Spider-Man had happened. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that.
I would have taken Leonardo DiCaprio over him.
Leo was too big.
Okay, so you're looking for somebody like in the middle of the road?
No, okay, all right, okay.
Because Nick Cage was a pretty well known superstar, right?
He was coming off of. So you have to. This is how it works. You either get somebody rising up, or somebody coming off of a huge swing.
So that's what Keanu kind of just did with like the John Wick stuff.
Yes.
You know, it just kind of revived his career.
Exactly.
Which I really like what they have done with that. Just throw that in there.
Never seen John Wick.
You haven't?
No.
You have to. I'm telling you.
Everybody says that.
You want to see some incredible fight scenes? You'll. I think you'll like it.
I will. Just like with Game of Thrones, I was like, I'm not going to watch it, and then.
Did you watch Game of Thrones?
I ended up watching it. I tried it. It didn't work. Just like with John Wick. John Wick.
Yeah.
I tried John Wick 3 times.
The movie?
Yeah, I was like, let me try it, and I couldn't get past the hospital scene, and I was like, I fell asleep every time.
The first John Wick?
The first John Wick.
Really, I really like that one.
And I could not. So I was like, I'm going to give it another shot because, like I said, it depends on the mood. When I'm in a certain type of mood, sometimes like I want to watch comedies. A lot of times recently, I've been wanting to watch comedies, so I want to laugh. What did I watch today? Superbad. Classic comedy. Yeah. So, but okay.
I have 2 names for you.
Leo. Okay, so we have Keanu. Kurt Russell.
Yes. Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's number 3.
Yeah, that's number 3. All right, I have 2 more. Okay, and you can't say no because of a certain thing. But Don Cheadle. I think he would have worked fantastic. Not a giant superstar. He's never really been that giant superstar. But I think he would have fit the role. Or Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes already was doing Blade.
At that time he was? I thought it was over at that time.
No, but he was already in the Marvel universe.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
No, it does matter.
No, dude, they interchange all the time.
It
wasn't the same universe.
No, well, okay, look. I think that one was because Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider, was with Sony first.
Okay.
Blade, because Marvel, when they were going bankrupt, they decided to sell off their movie rights to their characters.
That's why the whole Spider-Man thing.
Spider-Man and Fox and all that stuff. So Blade ended up having, but it was a big movie, and they did 3 movies. You can't all of a sudden now have this one guy who was Blade now play a different character so close.
It was 2004. It ended. So, I mean, that's 3 years.
That's 3 years.
You think that's too close?
That's too close.
All right.
Okay.
What about Don Cheadle then?
Don Cheadle. I like where your head's at with Don Cheadle. I think that Don Cheadle still hasn't had that mega success. He's done some really good films and he does some good work, and I like all of his work.
Now, is he the guy? Okay, so that was who War Machine became, was Don Cheadle, right? And they replaced Cuba Gooding.
No, they replaced
Don Cheadle?
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Oh my gosh, sorry, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
That's
wow.
just me being white.
Wow. Yeah, they replaced Terrence Howard, Don Cheadle, and I think, you know what? Don Cheadle wouldn't have been bad. I don't know. I'm not a big Ghost Rider fan. Like, and I'm not one of those guys where you have to have. So you have a character, and this characteristic is what? Does it always have to be the same color or the same nationality every time, unless it's ingrained into that character as in its conception?
So do you think like James Bond should never be a black person or a girl?
I don't mind either one, but you can't have, this is, I mean, it's tough. And I mean, this is a discussion that we can have, because it is really difficult, because in a certain, when you want to be true to the character and to whatever. So if I'm writing a piece,
yeah,
and I have a character in mind, so, and it's not cliche or anything like that. Most of the time, if I'm thinking of a character, I'm not thinking of a specific color.
Okay.
But it does, like, characteristics fit certain things. But an actor is an actor.
Yeah.
They can embody, if they're acting,
yeah,
they know how to take on these roles. So I don't know. I James Bond, because I think there was a big discussion about Idris Elba.
And I thought he would have been fantastic
doing the role.
The only thing that's hard with him is to start a series with him being, because he doesn't look as old as he is, but he's in his 50s.
Yeah.
And so you can't really start a new James Bond, I don't think, in his 50s, although I think he would have been perfect.
Yeah, I think you can. I think you can do it. I mean,
but how many films are you going to get out before he's in his 60s?
How many do you need?
I don't know. What's Daniel Craig's done, like 5 or 6 or something?
Do you need that many? I mean,
I don't know.
I stopped watching.
I guess if they're I haven't really followed, but if they're still making money, then you're not going to stop making them.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's all about money, and that's the problem with Hollywood to me today.
You don't think they're willing to take that chance?
They're not willing
like
to
take a James Bond as an Idris Elba.
No, they're not willing to take chances. It's all about the money, and as you go into more streaming platforms and people not really going to theaters, like, well, I take that back. Unless it's a bankable commodity.
Yeah, because they ended up going with, okay, Daniel Craig's going to be in this new one, and he's kind of going to pass the torch to the woman, right, or something?
Yes.
They had just cast a lady.
Yeah. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, and I think James Bond never. He's an agent.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just it's a code name for the top agent.
Now, does she become 007, or does she become like her own thing? Like, does she become just a different agent within the James Bond universe? Do you know? I'm not really. I don't know the script, and I don't know. Would you be okay with her just saying, "Okay, I am now James Bond," or whatever name they have for her?
It's good. I mean, if it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. If we talk about when and I'm not trying to turn this to a female-male thing, but you look at the most recent thing that they did when they took male characters and made them female. There was the Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, which I didn't see. They did that with Anne Hathaway and Rebel Wilson.
Yeah.
Did not watch that movie. Had no desire to watch it.
Ghostbusters.
The Ocean's
8.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did that. Ocean's 8 was. I ended up watching most of Ocean's 8. Good movie.
It was good.
Yeah, not a problem with that at all.
It didn't suck me in. Like the trailer didn't really suck me in, because It wasn't an all female cast that turned off for me, but I was like, okay, we already have 3 other Oceans movies. I don't need any more of these, And that's kind of the same thing with Ghostbusters, where I was like, I don't need, and I probably won't go watch even the new one that they're making now.
I don't even know what that's about. And,
Yeah.
and, but this is the thing. Like I was getting to, Hollywood loves to rehash bankable commodities.
Yeah.
And it's not about
Putting
fresh new ideas.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you have a lot of people that have creative visions about new topics, and but if it's not something bankable.
So did you? I just read this, and this is interesting because I don't know how we came to this point, but did you see A Quiet Place?
No, I want to see. I was just thinking about that.
It's very good. It's very good. Okay,
Yes.
you have to see it. So after A Quiet Place came out, and it was just this big out of nowhere success, the writers. John Krasinski directed it. So the writers.
Oh, he directed it as well?
Yeah, he directed it.
Oh, wow.
So the writers got called to Lucasfilm Studios, and Lucasfilm Studios and George Lucas. I don't know if he was there or not, but the big people at Lucasfilm said, "Hey, we want you to direct a Star Wars movie," and they said, "Well, if it's just going to be the same rehash of the same stuff that you guys have been doing forever now, we don't want any part of it." But if it's like a new part where it's like we could take something from a tiny part of the galaxy and make this like huge and do something awesome, then we'll do it. And Lucasfilm said, no, we kind of want the same thing. And so they said, no, we're going to go work on, we want to write original stuff. And I was like reading this on Yahoo with like, getting chills. Like, this is the kind of stuff that is awesome, and this is the stuff that I want to see. I don't want to see the same stuff over and over. I'm invested in Star Wars because I've been doing it, so I'll probably go see the new one, but it's not like they're blowing me away with everything that's coming out lately. With A Quiet Place, and you'll see like it's something different and kind of it's fun and it's unique. It's like when, I don't know, for me it was like when Blair Witch Project came out, because I was at the age where I thought it was real. I had no idea, or The Sixth Sense, something like that, where it's unique and it's new and you have no idea that it's what's going to happen. And so with The Quiet Place, you'll see it's cool, man, and it's neat seeing John and Emily, who are married in real life, working together, because
She's in there.
Yeah, Emily Blunt's in there. Wow. Yeah, so it's cool to see them working together as husband and wife in the movie, as actual husband and wife in real life. It's a cool dynamic. So and they're doing a second one, and I think he's directing the second one, and he's you got to watch it. So just watch it first before I spoil it for you.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. I mean, I guess I was literally thinking, because I don't have a whole lot of, I mean, you're sitting in the studio, you see my DVDs over there, but I don't have the streaming platforms. I have Netflix.
Okay.
I got rid of cable.
Okay. You cut the cord.
I cut the cord, so I'm limited to what I can do. I don't subscribe to Hulu, because everything is now, and we'll get into that in a later episode. We'll talk about all of that streaming and breaking that stuff down. Okay. But the one thing that I got about your whole thing, what you were telling me about, was like you were getting news off of Yahoo. And
I have a Yahoo account, so I go to Yahoo. I also have a Hotmail account too, so I don't have AOL, but that's my parents.
Okay, all right. Well, that was funny.
I have a Gmail as well, so everybody can just shut up.
Yeah, that Gmail. That's where it's at. But I've wanted to watch The Quiet Place for a long time, because I heard it was really, really good. And I was watching. I wish that they had it on the plane when I was coming back. I was watching. What did I watch? On the way going, I was going to Cleveland, and on the way I watched Shazam.
Okay, Shazam, yeah.
And then I ended up watching Alita Battle Angel.
Okay, yeah.
Then
I've seen them both.
Alita Battle Angel ended, and then I was watching Us. I didn't even know that they had that on there. Okay. So, but I didn't finish it.
Okay.
So I don't know how it ends.
I haven't seen Us. I actually just watched Get Out for the first time.
Oh.
And I thought it was cool. I thought it was great.
Oh, man.
I liked it. And even me being a white person and them totally just trashing all white people, I was fine with it.
I don't think they were trashing all white people. I think they were trashing a certain demographic.
Of
white
course.
people.
But that's kind of the thing. You that's kind of who's representative now, like at the forefront.
To me, it was an appropriation message.
Yeah,
and I was watching. I'm just plugging all kind of stuff that I like, but I don't care.
What did you think of Alita? I thought there was something there, and I thought it was interesting enough, but it didn't really drag me in as deep as I wanted to go. And they left you on a big, huge cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And they're definitely not going to make another one because the movie didn't do very well.
No.
So you probably will never know what happens.
That's the thing is Alita was. It's tough because I really I like anime and I like robots and all that kind of good stuff. One of my favorite characters is RoboCop.
Yes.
And I really don't know why Alita was a good movie. It was a good movie. They told a good story. Would I see a sequel? Yes. Would I want to... do I think it's going to happen? Like you said, no, because it didn't do that well.
No, it didn't do very well at all.
And I mean, it was something about the murder ball or whatever they were doing.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was weird.
It was weird seeing what's that guy's name?
Christoph Waltz.
No, the bad guy.
Musashi Ali or something like that.
Yes. Yeah. It was interesting because that was
Edward Norton is in there.
Yeah, it was a weird role for him. Because he's a great actor, and I just thought that was too superficial of a.
They had
of a
some
role.
really great actors.
Yeah,
Jennifer Connelly,
yeah,
Musashi Ali, Edward Norton, Christoph Waltz. Those are some great actors.
Yeah,
I don't know the actress that played Alita.
She's from Maze Runner. I don't know if you've ever seen those.
No. I'm too old for that.
They're actually not bad.
Yeah,
they're not bad.
This is like I gave up after what was that movie with
Hunger Games or Divergent or
Divergent.
Divergent. They're better than Divergent.
I've never seen Hunger Games. Never cared.
Really?
To. Don't want to. Whatever.
At least watch the first two, man.
No thank you.
Lenny Kravitz is fantastic.
No thank. Yes, he is.
Yeah,
but I will not see him in those movies. No. I
okay.
will not.
So Alita is just gonna fall by the wayside.
Okay.
It's going to be one of those things that you watch on TV here and there, But what did you think about Shazam? That's what I thought. Yeah.
It was okay.
I think that they were almost trying too hard. That's how it came across. Like they seemed to be forcing jokes. They seemed to be forcing.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
I honestly, the thing that bugged me the most was the way that they did his costume. I just did not like how he looked. And that was the right costume. I don't know if they needed to do like a CGI thing or something, but I just didn't like how he looked in that costume. It just bugged me the whole time.
And I'm going to be honest, I fell asleep throughout the end.
Okay.
So this is, apparently I woke up and there's like a whole family of Shazams now. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, what did I miss? And I was lost because I was I had some bourbon on the plane. Anyway.
Gotcha.
All right. So I was like, hey, what happened? I was like, that Megan Good? What is this? I don't know. Like,
you didn't miss
what
much.
happened? And so, but I thought I really did think that they brought. See, I like when movies show you different aspects of life, and they show you the alternative.
Okay.
When you have a positive foster parent home.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Those two characters and and those actors, they were perfect.
Yeah.
I really like that. And I really and I really like I'll come back to Shazam, but when you look at Ant-Man and you see how the co-parenting thing works with them, that's really great.
Yeah.
That's really great. And those are two things that were brought up in the Cinema Sins show. So check them out. But anyway, this is Shazam. I think that I forgot his first name. Levy.
I have no idea. I forget.
I think that the main character who played Shazam, grown up Shazam, was great.
Okay.
I think that the dynamic between him and his foster brother at the time was great.
The boy, the
The
boy
boy
with the crutches. Yeah.
and they don't even make a big deal about it.
No, I love that, and I
Which
love
is
that
awesome.
they almost build him up to be like just
Yes.
this incredible character, and you stop noticing that he is disabled. Yeah,
Exactly. That's what life is. Because if you have a friend who has a disability, you don't constantly bring it up every
Exactly.
5 minutes.
yeah.
So that's one thing about what's happening in the one good thing about films nowadays and about all of this PC stuff is that you get to see where it's not really made up to be a big deal for certain things.
Yeah.
Disabilities and I think the Farrelly brothers were doing films where they always had people with disabilities, or in their movies they've always had them in
They
Something
had-
About Mary.
Yeah, then they had Jim Carrey. Was that the Farrelly brothers that made Dumb and Dumber?
The Farrelly brothers did they do Dumb and Dumber?
It was. I thought it was some brothers that did Dumb and Dumber.
So, it was more.
I know what you're talking about. That was just a dumb joke. But
Yeah, no, I got you. I got what you're saying.
I got to look it up and see if they actually made that.
So the Farrelly brothers, two of my favorite movies, Something About Mary and Kingpin.
Okay. I don't think I've ever seen Kingpin.
Oh, you got to watch Kingpin. Kingpin, Woody Harrelson, Randy Quaid, Bill Murray.
Yeah, the Farrelly brothers.
They did Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably as dumb as that movie was. Is one of my all-time favorite movies.
The tuxedo scene at the end, and it was hilarious.
There's so many one-liners, yeah. But not to get off topic. So, for me, when I watch a movie, I don't rate. The only thing that I will rate is will I watch it again?
Okay.
And look, a movie could be incredible, like Schindler's List, but I don't want to watch it again. And so for me, it's like, okay, that's a great movie, but I'm not going to watch it again. Like if you ask me, hey, was that movie worth watching again? It's worth watching once for Schindler's List, okay? And then afterward, you're like, oh man, I feel bad. For Shazam, I don't know if I'd watch it again. Like if I had to sit down and watch the whole thing again, I wouldn't do it. I don't think I would.
Okay, that's definitely. I'm writing that down now. That's going to be a list.
Okay.
That we're going to discuss.
Would you watch it
an
again?
episode? What would we watch again? Because I don't want to divulge. I mean, this is the first episode.
Yeah.
Where you're learning a lot about us and kind of where we are. We're kind of jumping all over the place, and we will
That's
do that.
kind of how it is, yeah.
That's how it's going to be. That's life. It comes at you, and you got to deal with it. So you guys that are listening or not listening, whatever. You're going to deal with
Everybody who's not listening.
Yeah, exactly.
Deal with it.
Exactly. Exactly. So I just think that, that's a great premise and a great way to look at films, because I've seen certain films hundreds of times.
And they probably weren't rated like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen the great films like once. 'Cause how many times can you watch Requiem for a Dream?
Oh, once.
Dude.
Once. There's zero chance I'm watching that again.
God.
I watched it once and it still scares me.
It is I had to watch it in film school, and I had to sit there with my professor, and we had to have a discussion about an hour for an hour after the class ended.
That's probably why I didn't even think about doing heavy drugs. Because I watched that movie, I'm like, I'm gonna have to cut my arm off or get my arm cut off. It's like, forget it.
Oh, it is disgusting. So we're gonna have.
That's Jared Leto, right? Is that Jared Leto?
Yes, Jared Leto, Marlon Wayans, Jennifer Connelly.
Oh my goodness, was it? I didn't even know. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Jared Leto, Marlon Wayans, Jennifer Connelly. Those are the three main characters in that film.
Marlon Wayans was in that movie?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And he did an exceptional job.
Oh.
Awesome.
Is the lady that played the mom, is she anybody? Because she was freaking me out too, man.
Oh, at the end, when she comes out the psych ward, that freaked me out.
Her stuff's moving, and like, was she taking those like speed pills, whatever? Is that what she's doing?
Yeah, she is. It's not Ellen Burns. I know who she is, and she is very famous. I just can't think of her name at the moment. No, but the cast, they had Keith David in there as well.
Okay.
The cast was great. It was Darren the guy that did The Wrestler.
Oh, I thought that's the guy from Iron Man 2, no?
No.
That's not the same person?
No.
The bad guy from Iron Man 2?
That's Sam Rockwell.
No.
Oh, the guy. No. The wrestler was Mickey Rourke.
Yeah,
Mickey Rourke. Yeah, he was in there, but he didn't direct it. Darren.
Oh, you said guy directed. Sorry.
I think Darren the guy that did Black Swan and.
Dude, that's another. The Wrestler was so depressing too, man.
Oh,
forget it. I'm not watching that movie again. It was a good movie, but no, forget it.
The only thing that was about that was Marissa Tomei.
You know, it's another movie I won't watch again is Donnie Darko. I just
never seen it.
It's
never seen it.
It's just weird. It's so weird.
Donnie Darko. Like, okay, you can only watch kids. All right, you know what? I want to say I'm gonna type this down because we gotta get into this because I really do like that. I really do like the idea of getting into these movies and discussing why, because they can be great, but they creep you out.
They wreck you. Yeah,
there's something about them.
So it's a good plug for next time's show.
Yeah,
I was gonna say next week's, but I don't know when that's happening.
The next time show, whatever it's going to be, because you could be listening to this. I mean, in all honesty, you could be listening to this in 2026.
Yeah,
and you'd be like, "Who are these guys
on the moon?"
Exactly,
on Mars,
on the moon, on the moon,
on the dark side of the moon. Oh, that's a bad movie though. Transformers. Do we want to get into Transformers?
We're gonna have to
because they murdered Transformers for me. I liked
Michael Bay.
Yes, I liked the first one. I thought it was fine, and then after that, it's just like, what the heck are you doing? What are you doing?
Part 2, when they had the two robots, the two
that narrows it down.
The two robots. One of them had a gold tooth.
Oh,
basically.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh yeah. No, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Everybody in the theater just going, oh,
yeah. And then you had a robot with testicles, and like, you know, as a Transformers fan, you know, I'm a kid of the '80s. I was born in 1980, so you know, the mystery is going how old I am.
You dated him, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that they really did the Transformers
real bad.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, real bad, dude.
I mean, G.I. Joe got done the worst, though.
You know what, though? The first one I hated. The second one was with The Rock, I think. Yes.
And Bruce Willis.
I didn't hate that one. I didn't despise it. It was so much better than the first one, and you're comparing garbage to garbage, you know, and you're like, oh, actually, this is I found a piece of gold. But it wasn't great. You're right.
Yeah.
But I would still take the second G.I. Joe over almost all of the Transformers.
Yes.
And did you watch Bumblebee?
No.
So it got incredible reviews. My wife and I we were excited to see it. It's one of the few movies I've actually ever walked out of. I was so bored. She sits there.
No.
She sits there and talks to Bumblebee in the garage for like an hour and a half. It's like, dude.
No, you got up and walked out of a movie?
Yeah. I've only done that one other time. It was Land of the Lost with Will Smith. I couldn't take it. Couldn't take.
No. That's Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell, yeah. Will Smith. That would be an interesting movie. Actually, Land of the Lost with Will Smith was the M. Night Shyamalan movie with his son.
After Earth,
which was, I should have walked out of that one too. But that movie was still better than Land of the Lost, in my opinion. Did you ever see Land of the Lost?
Yeah.
I couldn't take it.
Danny McBride.
I couldn't handle it.
It was Matt Lauer can suck it. That movie is awesome.
I couldn't take it.
With Chaka.
I walked out.
Oh my god.
No.
Okay. I did not watch it in the theaters.
Okay.
One movie that we watched in the theaters. I think the only movie that we watched together.
Me and you?
Yes.
We went to a movie?
We went to a movie.
Wow. Okay. What was it?
Aqua Teen Hunger Force. They had a movie.
You and I went to the Aqua Teen Hunger Force
It was
movie?
me, you, and some other people. But I know you were like, we were going to go see this because we were talking about Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah.
With Meatwad, and
Yeah.
that movie was awful.
I don't even remember. It
Yeah.
was so bad, I don't even remember.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing I can remember from that was the song. I think I like you. I love your booty, but I'm not gay. That's the only thing that I can remember.
What?
And
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
for full disclosure, me as a person, you might be thinking, "What was he drunk? What was he high?"
No.
I have never drank alcohol and I've never done drugs in my life. So this was just
Are
a.
you still considered straight edge?
I guess if that's what you consider it. I
Is
don't-
that what-
I
is
don't
that what
drink
it
or
is?
Smoke, yeah. If you don't drink or smoke, and I guess you
Okay.
kind of have to be in the club. And I don't know if I've ever officially got in the club.
I do all of that.
Yeah, but
Except the drugs.
yeah, but I don't remember that at all. I have
Hardcore.
I have no idea. Hardcore, not legal.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't remember going to the movies with you ever.
That's crazy.
That's-
I mean, it was not a memorable experience. It was something that I totally was like, this is awful, because that movie sucked.
Oh, it was such a great show too. I love that they did 15-minute cartoon just segments, just real fast.
The movie was so bad compared to the show, and I get it. Like I didn't know what to expect in the anytime you go from a show like South Park,
Yeah,
they had the show Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
yeah.
And I went to go see that, and I laughed so hard because they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know that Trey Parker, Matt Stone, they know what they're doing. These guys for the movies, I was like, wow.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force is just not a show you can make longer than 15 minutes per episode. You can't just
It got
'cause
popular.
So much happens in 15 minutes that's just off the wall. It just
Yeah.
kills your brain. You can't take it. I mean, it is a great show though. I wish it was still on.
It was a good move, a good show at the time. Like, I mean, Adult Swim had some really good shows.
Yeah.
Right now, I really like Rick and Morty.
I don't know if I've ever seen that. To be honest with you, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it.
Rick and Morty is a great. I don't want to say great. It's really I like it.
It's like
I like
an
it.
8.5 out of 10, like close to a 9.
Also a 9.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, I have few shows that I've purchased all the seasons to. One of them is Venture Brothers,
Okay, I see that. Yeah,
and then the other one is going to be Rick and Morty.
I see you have a lot of Family Guys.
Those are given to me. Those were
Okay.
gifted to me by a girl who, oddly enough, said, I don't want to watch this show anymore because the way this girl is laughing at it makes me feel dumb. So I'm getting rid of these Family Guy episodes.
Wow.
I don't blame her.
Wow. Okay.
I don't blame her. I wish I could remember her name. She was a really cool chick. But anyway.
Next
Charlie. Her name was Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah. Her name was Charlie.
Oh my goodness, dude! That just They're making a Charlie's Angels, another one. Oh, that trailer looks so bad. I'm sorry.
With
but
Kristen Stewart?
Kristen Stewart. My goodness, what is going on?
Okay. Now, yeah, I won't watch that. I'm not gonna go to the theaters and see the new Bad Boys.
Oh, that looks bad too. That looks
No.
so bad. Yeah.
No, it's too late. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
It's been like 15 years.
I'm
or
sorry.
something? It's-
You cannot. No, I'm not going to the theaters to watch that. I'm not going. You can only do so much.
Yeah.
So we have all these. I have all these movies, and the last movie that I went to the theaters to go see was Endgame. No. Spider-Man.
Okay. Yeah.
Spider-Man.
That's the last one I went to, too.
Far
Yeah.
From Home.
Okay.
Excellent movie.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
It had its, just like any movie, it has its ups and downs, but I think for the story they're trying to tell and what they were trying to build to was great. Unfortunately, I knew what was going to happen happened.
Okay.
And the fact that they had a finite amount of time to tell the story.
Yeah.
And what happened was somebody got too bold and wanted to say, "Hey, we need to renegotiate this contract," and it fell apart. You got two powerhouses going at each other with Sony and Disney.
Yeah.
And
that's a long conversation.
Yeah.
With the movie itself, I just on the surface, I was like, oh, that's a lot of fun. To answer the question, I would watch it again. Now, when I look back at it, I'm like, okay, they kind of just took the script from the other Spider-Man, a guy that was just mad about everything, and then he just goes against Spider-Man and tries to do whatever. What's his name? Who was the Vulture? Val Kilmer? Is that who it was?
Oh my God!
Was it Val
no,
Kilmer?
it was not Val Kilmer.
Wow, not
Are
Val
you
Kilmer.
serious? Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
Come on.
Okay, so I get all races confused. Now we're even.
Michael Keaton and Val Kilmer. Oh my God!
So Michael Keaton is mad because Tony Stark took over, the whole cleanup process, and then he gets back at everybody. Jake Gyllenhaal's mad at Tony Stark because
it's all about Tony Stark.
Yeah, and so I'm just kind of like, okay, it's almost the same plot a little bit, and I felt like, as in Iron Man 3, with them just making the Mandarin a total weakling, because I was stoked for the Mandarin. You have no idea. I thought it was going to be awesome, and then the same thing with Jake Gyllenhaal. It's like, okay, well, he's just putting on a show, And so when I looked at it that way, I was like, it wasn't as great of a movie as I thought. I had thought as I was walking out, but the more I thought about it, I was like, it was good. It was a good movie, and I had a lot of fun, and I would watch it again.
Yes.
And that's kind of the thing, is I wanted to have fun, But diving deeper into it, I was like, I was a little bit disappointed that they didn't really do something crazy. But now that he's leaving us forever, it doesn't really matter, right?
Well, he's not leaving. He's not leaving us. He's going to come back in certain iterations, like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
I saw that. It was on Netflix. I didn't, I was like, because I wasn't excited about it because I thought that Tom Holland and what they were doing with Marvel was great. So I didn't know how to take this Sony-made Spider-Man movie, and I was like, and it was a cartoon, and I was like, okay. So I ended up watching it, and I was pleased with it.
I loved it.
I was pleased. I thought it was really cool. The different Peter Parkers or whatever, all over.
Yeah,
it was really cool. But it brings me to this where we talk about these films, and we'll get into this in later episodes. And we're just kind of touching base and touching the surface, like you were saying, of all this stuff that we kind of have interest in.
Yeah.
But again, all the bacon and eggs.
Yeah.
Right?
Not just some.
Not just some. It's all. So one of the things that I've always heard, the book is better. The book is better.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I never read the book, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Until this movie came out a few years ago now, I was so excited.
Which one?
Let me reveal this.
Oh, this is a big reveal.
This is a big reveal.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I missed you.
No. This is a big reveal.
Okay.
All right. So I hear about this book from good friends of mine. Oh, you got to read this book. This is great. And, most of the time I'm like, whatever. I don't really care. So then I hear certain things like, oh, these themes that are in this book fits you perfect if you're 80s kids, blah, blah, blah. You got to check this book out. And I said, all right, cool. And then they're like, oh, and it's about to be made into a film. And I was like, oh,
wow.
All right, cool. So I do some YouTubing, and I was like, this might be perfect for me to kind of go over the book and then go and see the movie, and we're going to make a big deal. I read this book, and the book is called Ready Player One.
Okay.
Read the book, and I got two of my associates that I work with to read this book.
Okay.
We were all gung-ho about this book. We were like, man, this is exciting.
Okay.
This is exciting. This is good stuff. Then I go see the movie. And I sit in the movie, and I watch this movie made by expert craftsman, Steven Spielberg.
Yep.
Known for making good movies.
Okay.
For the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
For the most part. I think this is not Jurassic Park or E.T. This is more of an AI movie here.
Okay.
So I had no idea how bad you can mess that up.
So you read the book
Read the book.
and compared to the movie night and day, or
Night and day.
okay,
The names were the same, but it was totally different. And so it got me onto this whole kick where, what if, because a lot of films are based off of books.
yeah,
So what if I went back and read the books? So I couldn't do that all. I can't do that for all the films, right? So what I decided to do was going to Philip K. Dick's library. His books are the center or the focus of a lot of films. I think Blade Runner,
okay.
and it was another one that I can't think of at the moment.
That's actually one I didn't mind. The new one.
The new one was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go into these books and read, but then I'm thinking about it because all of the movies that I did like, and if I go and read the book, it'll be totally
Will you not
different.
like them?
Yeah.
Did you not like Ready Player One after reading the book? What did you think of the movie?
Compared to the book?
I mean, not compared to the book. Like, just would you have
Okay.
liked the movie more if you didn't read the book?
Ooh, probably.
Okay. Because I honestly, I'll be honest with you and the listeners, I can't read. I can't focus long enough to read. And so
I mean, you can read. You just
okay.
don't.
Yes, I can. I cannot focus long enough to read. And so I enjoyed Ready Player One. I'd say like a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay.
And I'd probably watch it again. So now you're making me think like if I had my wife read the book and she watched it, would she like it? Because I'm not going to read the book, unfortunately.
Okay.
So does that take away from the movie?
Yes, it does. And now, because I will hear that all the time. I have voracious readers in my group. All they do, they like to read. And okay. And they were like, "Oh well, the book was so much better."
Yeah.
Just recently with Game of Thrones, the books were so much better.
That's what I've heard too. Yeah.
You know, so, and I wasn't going back because I just started watching Game of Thrones, and I was like, okay, I got involved in it, and then season 8 came, and they just totally, it was off the wheel, off the tracks, just
Yes.
whatever. It was terrible.
They were finishing it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a whole episode we can deal with. But so I'm just thinking, like, what happened? Like, why would you? Because it was, and I understand Steven Spielberg didn't want to do a lot because there was a lot of references to his past work, and he didn't want to do all of those references in the book and in the movie. And I get it, and I understand that, but you change some elements in the book in this film from the book that just I don't know. It was, the book was so much better. I mean, it was a book that I read in probably a week. And
Wow.
I don't even like to read like that.
Okay.
And I was sitting at the bar in the cigar lounge, enjoying my cigar, enjoying my Michelob Ultras. And I read the whole half of that book.
You were reading Ready Player One in a bar?
Yes.
That's incredible. I wish somebody could have taken a picture of that. You were probably getting so many ladies that night.
As I talk out loud, and I realize how that sounds, but
that's a great image.
But it is what it is.
That's a testament to the book. If it can drag you in while
Yeah.
you're just at a bar,
Yeah. So I was sitting there enjoying my normal spot, enjoying my cigar, having a drink, and I'm just reading, and I'm going through. Like, oh, I just cannot wait to turn the page. I'm like, oh my goodness, like, this is getting good. It's getting good. You had one little kind of slip up in one act that they still did it in the movie.
Okay.
But they changed it a little bit. It still didn't make it any better. But
Okay.
anyway, if I were you, yes, for the sake of this show, have your wife read the book.
Okay.
We can do this episode, for down the line.
I like that we're having her read the books.
Yeah.
I'll have her read Jurassic Park. I'll have her read.
She's going to be a part of this show now. She's going to have to call in and get her. And so have her read the book
Okay.
and then watch the movie.
How long is the book? Like, how many pages we're talking about?
Oh, it's a large book.
It is a large book.
Yeah,
Okay.
and matter of fact, the person I gave my copy to somebody, they haven't given it back to me. But it's like the book. It was a medium size, about 300 and something pages.
Okay, so it's not as long as like a Harry Potter book or something, right? Because I've heard those ones are pretty long.
Yeah, I've never seen those.
I mean, I just know people say they're books. I'm like, they're movies. What are you talking about?
So yeah, we're gonna go into that, and we're going to figure all of that out. Just like how we're going to figure out how and what we're going to bring to you. Again, this episode here was just kind of going over not so much our background, but kind of where we are in certain things. And you'll see, and like I said, depends on the mood with me. I can't speak for J-Gag over here. But big old MMB. I'm going to give you however I feel. I might just feel like not saying nothing at all, which would be shitty for.
Should we just call you BOMMB then?
Oh man! So
I think we covered a lot of topics tonight. Remember we started.
We started with hair. Yeah. We started with nose hair.
Went to football.
Went to football,
and then straight to the movies.
And straight to the movie. So I think we're gonna have a lot of fun because this is just the tip of the iceberg. Just a little bit more on us. We've known each other for years. Mm-hmm. Not a day-to-day relationship, but
we kind of see each other once every couple of years.
Yeah, but now we're doing this, and
we have a lot to talk about.
We got a lot of catching up to do. So you guys are going to be involved in this catching up.
We're just doing this podcast to catch up. Yeah,
yeah. This is our Golden Girls. So this is what we're going to do. We're just going to be talking about stuff that's on our mind and what's going on, and we're going to be having some fun. Possibly guests, maybe not. Maybe a news person to come in and talk about some stuff. Why not?
Or we could pretend to invite people and we can just do different voices.
Yeah. Oh, hey, come on.
Oh yeah, we don't want to tell people.
Hey, so you'll never know.
Yeah, maybe Kermit the Frog.
That's actually really good.
Yeah, it's the only thing I can do.
Just say that.
Yeah, that's it. That's all my impressions.
So I mean, I cannot sustain a voice for longer than 2 sentences without busting up laughing. Yeah. So
he's got a cute laugh too.
Yeah. I got this horrible laugh now. I don't know how it happened or when it happened, but I got like this mixture of laugh where it's like a old time like 30s laugh with this super phlegm at the end. Like it's like so gross. And I was listening to myself on a Snapchat and I was laughing and I was like, oh yeah. I was like, oh god.
I think that's everybody when we laugh. I think most people are like, oh. I think for me when I listen back when I talk, I'm like, oh boy. Why would you want to listen to me talk?
Oh, well, the part about this is that, me doing the editing is I don't like to hear my voice. So, this is going to be interesting. So, yeah. 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 But, what we're thinking about is here at the All Bacon and Eggs podcast is bringing all kind of different things to you, and a perspective of just real people. We're just dudes.
Honestly, most of this, we have a very small list of things that we're going to talk about, and I would say I wrote down 5 topics, and we talked about one, which was nose hair. The rest of it was just kind of just off the Is it off the cuff? Is that how you say that?
Yeah, you can say it off the cuff.
Off the cuff, just kind of made up on the spot because that's just kind of how we both are.
Yeah.
We can start talking about stuff and just go from one thing to the next.
All right, now we're not going to go into these, but give me your topics that you had.
I have it right here. Okay, so hold on, I got a fingerprint scan.
Security. Yeah. Yes.
All right, so I had nose and ear hair.
Okay.
We did talk about Marvel a little bit, but I had Marvel sucks. as one.
Ooh, we're gonna have to get into that one.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
gonna have to go into that one. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? We did talk about the Raiders are a mess, and that we talked about the Raiders and our teams
Okay.
do stink. I had Donald Trump.
Let's
We didn't
just
get into
throw
that
that in there. Let's just throw that topic in.
Yeah, I had dogs versus cats.
Ooh.
Least favorite pizza topping.
Oh,
Star Wars. Favorite Office and Parks and Recreation episode, and favorite toy as a kid. And I have mine in parentheses, but we won't discuss that now.
we are not going to discuss that because those are all topics for future episodes
Yeah.
that are great. Now, what we're going to do is I'm writing these down, and we're going to go into all, because as I just dropped that, we're going to go into these topics for the future episodes, because each one of those, honestly, those are good starting points.
Yeah.
Those are good starting points because we can go into all different directions, and I love it.
I do have this is as most of you guys know listening, this is our first episode. So I wasn't sure if are we getting ready to end this? Because if we were, I was going to end it with
A rap?
Would you listen again? Ask yourself, would you listen again? Like something like that. Because we said, hey, would you watch it again? That's kind of the mark of like a fun, kind of cool show. So I didn't know if we could say, you know, as we're about to sign off, ask yourselves, would you listen again? And then, Marlon's music. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to use your real name. You can cut that out. MMB's music comes on because he makes some incredible like house jams. I don't know how the kids say it.
House jams?
House jams with a Z.
Yeah, whatever.
So I don't know. You can cut all this stuff out anyways as you're the editor. But just kind of just going off of the top of my head, I didn't know if you wanted to close with something like, hey, would you listen again or something like that. Ask the audience.
Yeah, no, seriously, this is the audience right now is you and I. Because that's what it is. Until we get this, I get this cut, and we get a format where we're gonna upload it.
Yeah.
So, we can definitely we're gonna play around with it. Each one of these topics, like we have about what six topics. Mm-hmm. So we got 6 episodes. That we...
Oh, you think each one of those is going to take up a whole episode?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to talk about Donald Trump the whole time?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's going to be a fun one.
Oh, yeah.
Get ready, kids.
Oh, yeah. So, what it is that, I actually have done a show, and I know you cannot participate in this, but maybe you can moderate.
Okay.
Maybe you can moderate. We can kind of incorporate the show into... the podcast, the Drunken Debates.
Okay.
So where we just, 2 people, we get to the point where we are drunk. I have a breathalyzer so we can know when we're legally drunk, and we just debate a topic.
Oh boy.
And and to be honest with you, which is really crazy because we have not talked to each other in years until recently. And has it been? Not about a year.
Yeah, probably a year. Yeah.
Yeah. All of those topics are things that I was going to go over with the in my drunken debates.
Oh, okay.
So especially it was going to be the Marvel versus DC. Mm-hmm. Then you're going to do your Star Trek versus Star Wars. Mm-hmm. But my whole thing was to bring attention, serious topics.
Yeah.
But also have fun with it.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's the kind of the atmosphere that we have because it's always and not to be corny or cliche, it's always love and respect here.
Yeah.
And that's first and foremost.
So we'll just open up next show with Rodney King and then just jump right into Marvel versus DC. And then just kind of end it with like a really touchy subject of, right wing versus left wing politics. It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be great. So yeah, ask yourself the question, if you're listening to this episode, would you listen to us again? and, write an essay, 150 words, if you would. Or
That's not an essay. That's like a small paragraph. Write a few sentences.
It's an essay. You can write an essay in 150 words.
I've
mastered that in college.
20 fonts.
Exactly. So, but write it. I'm just kidding about the write a comment. But just ask yourself the question if you would listen again, and reach out to us, and if you have topic ideas that you want us to discuss based off of what you've heard so far, because there's a lot more. There's a lot more to cover with each one of us getting into, our backgrounds and things like that, because you kind of just touch the surface of that as well. You don't know much about me or where I'm from or anything like that, and I'm just some voice on coming through you forever means of conveyance that you're listening to this to.
Wow,
so
that was deep.
Hey, I tried. So you think about that, and I will hopefully have this ready for
Consumption
sooner than later. And
well, everybody who's listening won't understand that because they'll just be listening for the first time, so they won't know that it took
they won't know.
7 years.
Exactly. This is 7 years in the
Just
making.
don't ever say the date. Actually, well, we dated ourselves talking about sports, so
We did, but we just said that our teams played whatever.
that's true. Yeah,
And you don't know what day it is. I'm not saying dates, whatever. It is what it is.
yeah.
It's
2021.
We're from the future.
Dude, if this is what the future sounds like,
Oh my!
there's no hope.
There's no hope. Put all your money in potatoes. Trust me. So from the Leo Pope Studios in beautiful, luxurious Henderson, Nevada.
Yes.
This is MMB.
And I'm Jay Gag.
And we are signing off. We will talk to you later.
Pick up Mason Crosby.
Yes.